What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over how to get lean and stay lean. I'm going to cover some evidence-based strategies on how to do this, and I'm also going to go over a couple of personal anecdotes at the end, going over a few things that have worked really well for myself, especially in the last 2 years. So be sure to stick around to the end. Now, the first thing we need to really understand about the basics of weight loss is the basics of thermodynamics. So essentially we have calories in, we have calories out. And the reason for the excess fat storage on our body is because it is essentially a survival mechanism that our body has so that when we consume an excess amount of calories, we can store those excess calories as fat on our body for the potential future need. Maybe we run out of food or something like that, or we just need some fuel to keep us going. For example, in the hunter-gatherer days, as we're out in the woods looking for food and stuff like that. So that's kind of the reason why our body stores fat, and what causes it is just simply an excess consumption of calories. So if we want to lose weight, we just need to simply consume less food. Now, I know that's really common in the fitness world and whatnot, but there's actually a little bit of nuance to this as well. And one thing I don't see a lot of people talking about is just how to be metabolic healthy and just how to have a functioning healthy metabolism. So now the reason why a bunch of these crash diets and whatnot fail, or why people feel like they're getting stuck or hit a plateau at a certain point, is simply because their metabolism has shut down because they've been in too big of a calorie deficit, and that is a more than likely probable cause as to why you're going to rapidly gain the weight back in the future. Let's take bodybuilders for example. A prime example, these guys get down to 3, 4, 5% body fat, no problem for a show, everything like that, and then all of a sudden they go and eat a pasta or a burger, or even hell, have a margarita or something like that. Now all of a sudden they've gained 20 pounds because their metabolism is just completely shut down from being in that excess amount of calorie deficit for so long. So one thing that you're going to really want to keep in mind is that you really want to go nothing more than a 300 calorie deficit at the absolute most. And this is going to make sure that our metabolism doesn't completely shut down and turn off. Now, I know this is going to be a slow process, and everybody wants instant gratification. They want everything to happen for them now. But the most important thing that you're going to need to understand on your weight loss or your fitness journey is that things are going to take time. You need to be patient, and the patience in the short term is going to pay you big time dividends in the long term. So when it comes to dieting, we want to make sure that we're eating less than we're consuming, keeping track of our food, and making sure that we're not putting ourselves in too big of a calorie deficit so that our metabolism shuts down, and even then we just have a really shitty, miserable time, and then we go out and order 5 large Domino's pizzas and start crushing those every day again. So the second thing that's really important is understanding that we need to prioritize satiation, or feeling hungry more often than not. And the way we're going to go about doing this is prioritizing getting more amounts of protein in our body. It is absolutely insane when I ask some of my friends, for example, how much protein do you eat in a day? And it's like, the amount that a 10-year-old kid should be eating in some instances. So it's really important that we break this down and really discuss the nuance behind the quality of the calories that we're getting. It's not as simple as calories in versus calories out. We also need to make sure that the calories we're getting are full of the micronutrients that we need, as well as the macronutrients that we need in order to stay metabolic healthy. So by far, in my experience of being in health and fitness and stuff like that, I have found no better way to do this than being on an animal-based diet, prioritizing red meat as the foundation, eggs as well, and just kind of eating some fruit here and there when I just need that immediate source of energy. So getting those calories in and getting that protein up is what we really want to focus on here, and that's going to make things a hell of a lot easier than just simply like I said earlier, crash dieting and starving ourselves. Make sure that when you're doing this, that the calories that you're getting in are the best possible calories to nourish your body and satisfy that hunger. Now, another thing that I like to do additionally on top of that is I like to delay the time that I eat my breakfast. Like, who said we had to eat breakfast, as soon as we wake up in the morning? Breakfast simply means that we're breaking our fast from, the previous 8 or 12 hours from when we ate last, when we go to sleep and everything like that, we don't eat. So I like to push that off a little bit. And basically what that forces your body to do is it forces your body to burn other sources of fuel, blood sugar in your sugar in your bloodstream, fat on your body, stuff like that. Your body is going to need to grab some kind of fuel source from somewhere. And if you're always constantly hammering on it with, sugary stuff first thing in the morning, and just, as soon as you wake up, your body's used to having, high amounts of sugar running through your bloodstream all the time. So having that 3 to 4 hour time period where you're not eating anything is actually going to help you to train your body into getting into that state of burning some of that excess fuel or that excess fat that you have on your body as a fuel source to kind of get itself going throughout the day. Now, the first time you start this, it is going to be difficult, but it simply works. I mean, this is something that I've been doing for a long time. This is something that I get a lot of my clients that I work with on to do at the same time. And, I haven't found anything better that works yet. So, you don't necessarily need to go that far, but if you can give yourself a window of 12 hours roughly before, the last time you ate to when you eat breakfast first thing in the morning, that's probably going to be adequate for the vast majority of people. But again, the longer the better. Start with baby steps and kind of work your way up to that major league level. That's going to make sure that you stay on track and don't hate your life too much throughout the process. Now, last but not least, probably another one of the most important things is, again, we talked about having that healthy metabolic rate. Your body actually burns most of its calories by just simply existing and being alive. So the way that we can increase this calorie, spendage throughout our day is by putting on lean amounts of muscle by strength training 3 days a week, assuming that you're a drug-free lifter. This is definitely going to be ideal for you because it prioritizes recovery and doesn't put too much of a tremendous amount of strain on your central nervous system. You're going to be able to put on a good amount of lean muscle while you're going through this process as well. And that's going to, again, assist you in, being metabolic healthy at the same time while you're doing all of the good dieting things that we talked about earlier. You're in a slight calorie deficit. You're fasting for the first part of the day, 3-4 hours if you can. The longer the better, as I said. And at the same time, we're really prioritizing that satiation or that, satisfied hunger feeling by making sure that we're getting good quality calories in our bodies, not this cheap processed garbage that just goes right through your system. Like I said, not all calories are created equal. Your body actually will burn more calories in the digestive process of digesting meat than it will, some kind of healthy oat nut grain bar mix or whatever it is, that has been told to us that is healthy. So definitely be sure to give these things a try. Obviously they're things that work very well for myself and other people that I work with. So that's a wrap. We'll call her a day there, everybody. If you found this video valuable and you are looking to lose weight and increase the amount of muscle that you have on your body as a natural lifter, definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.